wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was...
Boom! We're live. I need to do some setup here in the settings though. I noticed through my speaker. All right, there we go. I should be ready now. The sound was going through the speakers of the laptop and not my headset. Grab a sip of soda here real quick. Hope everybody's off to a great evening. It's Sunday night. I am parked, chilling at the truck stop. Got a busy day tomorrow. I have 10 deliveries over the next 24, 48, like the next 50 hours. Is that right? No, that's wrong. Like 58 hours, I guess. I have 5 deliveries tomorrow, though, in the Chicagoland area, which that's kind of a lot. It's kind of, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them all done. I hope I can, because if I don't get all 5 deliveries done tomorrow, I'm going to have to move one into Tuesday, which kind of throws a wrench in Tuesday's plans. No audio, says Cash King. I'll say hi to a couple people real quick. Scott's in the house. CH Hudson's in the house. Fate Live better than the Cowboys game. Yeah, I'm going against America's team. Good luck with that, Scott. Bob's in the house. David Edwards is in the house. Paul Harris, D. Compton, Kelly. Good evening, brother. Cassius King says no audio. I don't believe him for a minute. Gary Bates is in the house. I can't hear. I'm going to sue for $36 million, right? Bro, I ain't got $36 million, man. I wish I did. Cassius King, $2 super chat says no audio. 7C's Transport's in the house. What's going on, brother? How are you? RGB's in the house, or yeah, RGB. Hold on. Off camera. But yeah, I'm going up against America's team. That's all right. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I am a Minnesota Vikings fan, which they got beat today by Tampa Bay. We're not very good. Cassius King was live earlier. Obviously, everybody was in there. I'm not a Kirk Cousins fan either. I think he is a very good game manager. I think he is. He will always, like at the end of the year, he'll be in like the top 10 every year for quarterback statistics. But I don't think he's the guy to bring a team into a deep playoff run or make the Super Bowl. So yeah, Vikings got beat today. That sucks. I was hoping we would go undefeated. I don't like losing the first game, but they do. Kelly says Chiefs take it all. Dude, the Chiefs are good. Chiefs are very good. Have you guys checked out the podcast, New Heights, with Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce? Great podcast. I wish I had their subscriber count and everything, but yeah, that's a cool podcast. And they got on, Mahomes was on there. Reed they had as a guest. Yeah, Jalen was on there. Dude, check out that podcast. Super good podcast. But anyways, like I said, I'm just chilling at the truck stop this evening. I'm kind of tired of watching football. Like I said, I'm not a Cowboys fan. I am looking forward to tomorrow night's game, watching the Packers play. I just want to see how Jordan Love does. If Jordan Love, I think the Packers aren't going to be very good, but I'm excited to see what Jordan Love can do. I'm also excited to see what Rodgers can do in New York with Wilson and things like that. I don't think he's going to put up very gaudy numbers, but I think the Jets are going to be pretty damn good. Don't sleep on that defense. That Jets defense is very good. Um, not against the Lions, lol. The Lions, the Lions are a sneaky team. All right. I don't think the NFC is all that strong. I think the AFC, not that anybody cares. I think the AFC has a much harder road to like the Super Bowl. I don't think the NFC is as good as the AFC. I think a lot of the good quarterbacks right now are in the AFC. But the Lions can put up points, guys. Like even last year, they put up a lot of points. If they can put together a few games where their defense actually wins games, the Lions might be very good. I mean, they could be. Damn it, people know audio. Cash is king. Cousins is a good quarterback, not a great quarterback. I agree with that, CJ Hudson. Fully agree with that. Shannon Thomas Trucking. Here, I can do this. You know what? Do I owe anybody a wrench? I'm going to stop streaming. Let me bring it up on my phone real quick. Turn audio down on my phone. That's ringtone, Scott. There we go. You know what? I'm probably going to have a difficult time doing this because I'm using the hotspot for my phone. You know, RGBs I see a lot. Add as moderator. I see Scott dropping $100 bills on other lives. Let's make him a moderator. Maybe someday I can earn that. Goat for the goat tea, I'm sure. Listen, guys, you can whatever. I'm not gonna go down that road. I'm not gonna give people time of day that I don't like. Let's see here. Where did I leave off? Oh, Shannon Thomas Trucking's in the house. I noticed she was at home today. Good evening, everyone. I'm home hanging out. Tomorrow, taking the pretty penny into the local international dealership to get that EPU running. Oh, you got an EPU, huh? I didn't know you had that on that truck. I just spent probably the worst 3 days of my trucking career ever. My air conditioner went out, my compressor. So the clutch went out in the compressor. I could almost pull it right off the compressor. I ended up buying a new compressor and getting that put on, but I spent 3.5 days, 3.5 nights with no AC. And it was miserable. Like I was literally sleeping in shippers and receivers break rooms if they had them, like head on the table. You know what I mean? Taking like 2-hour naps and then getting up and driving. It was miserable. So I ended up doing what Cassius King did. I ended up going out and buying a generator and a portable air conditioner after getting a new compressor put on. Because I'll never, man, that was tough. I don't know how old school truckers did it. Like, mad respect because I was dying. There's no way I could do it. It was, listen, like I'll watch YouTube and hear people talking about fasting and this and that and eating healthy. Well, eating healthy is important. But like I don't fast, I don't do any of that. I'll tell you what though, the quickest way to lose weight is not have AC in a truck because you don't even want to eat. The only thing I was eating was like fruit and vegetables because if I was eating, I wasn't hungry. Like I felt like I would get sick if I ate. Um, and anything hot just made me feel even crappier. So the only thing I ate for like 3.5 days was pineapple, watermelon, grapes, and vegetables, celery and carrots. Um, let me see here. Kelly says, Cash, sue Warner because you're deaf. You can't hear fate. Yeah, there you go. There you go. David Edwards, 49ers, right? 49ers are a pretty good team too. Christian McCaffrey, when was that? They had their run. Like I think the 49ers had their run, and then everything just kind of fell apart with Kaepernick and all that crap that went on with them. And now I think I mean, the 49ers are a good team. They got a pretty solid defense. Their offense is lacking a couple of things, but the 49ers are a strong team too. Um, Channel 19 in the house. That's a lookalike Jay Leno stash. Yeah, I'm growing the mustache out. Just because I'm bored. I wanted to do something, so I decided I would grow out the mustache. Um, Kind of backfires on me. Some people think it's okay to just say completely off the wall fucking shit. Excuse my French and whatever. But you know what? She's thick. She's getting there. Channel 19. She's getting there. I'm actually gonna probably dye it too. I want to dye it black. We'll see though, because the older I get, it's coming in like almost like a reddish color, which is weird because I got like what do you call that? Dirty blonde hair, you know, the little bit of hair that I can still grow on my head, anyways. Um, After losing to Tampa Bay, turn around and play the Eagles. No, dude, Eagles will destroy us. Um, Eagles are legit. I would say in the NFC, you got the Eagles. Trying to think who else I would put San Francisco. San Francisco ain't bad. They're not bad, but the Eagles are legit. Eagles are good. I spend a lot of time out in the Philadelphia area too. Maybe I should become an Eagles fan. Kelly says Green Bay will pack. Yeah. I'm certainly equipped with an EPU to be cooling. Jeff stopped by and confirmed it today with me, and I would never have to idle to be comfy anymore or buy an APU anyways. Well, Shannon, so I had an EPU on the Mac. You're going to get about 8 hours of very comfortable like air and heat. After that, it's not going to be as comfortable and you're going to have to turn the truck on and recharge the batteries. That is why I took an EPU off of the Mac and put on a diesel APU. Part of my decision making and getting the generator and the portable AC unit was I looked into another another refurbished APU and they want $8,000 for it. And I'm not going to spend that. Like, I think that is, I mean, honestly, I think it's absurd. I don't want to spend that kind of money right now. So I chose to go the generator route. These little portable air conditioners. So this one is a let me look. 6,000 BTU cooling power. It freezes you out in the bunk. Like if you shut the curtains, and the other thing I was thinking about doing is I have a curtain that I purchased that I'm going to put on this top bunk here. So it's literally just going to be like cooling this little sleeping area, like my mattress and stuff. But I think that's going to be way too cold. The first night I used this air conditioner, I had to sleep under my winter blanket, which I thought was crazy. Jerome Jones is in the oh, I miss Scott's here. Warner has taken a beating, $36 million, $130 million. It wasn't even their fault. Yeah, didn't somebody hit them? Warner, I mean, but that just goes to show you, man, how much money these companies have. You know, and I'm not hating on them. They just have, I mean, they obviously have hundreds of millions of dollars. Jerome Jones is in the house. What up, brother? How are you, man? I just left Ohio this morning. I was in Ohio. You're going to hate an EPU. Like I said, I have experience with EPUs, and I didn't like mine. Fake take Cash's wrench, eye for an eye. Nah, man. Hey, you know what? Sterling gave him $300 to take my wrench away. I will take Cash's wrench away for $300. Let's be honest here. If people want to be foolish and spend their money absolutely absurdly, by all means, I support it. And fuck, God, sorry, I'm cursing now. Uh, Cash could block me from his channel if you give him enough money, and I support that. Channel 19 with a $5 super chat. Appreciate that. You should repay the favor to Cash and take away the wrench. I'll have, yes, yes. Like I said, man, all in good fun. Cash's King is somebody I look up to. Whatever, you guys can make fun of me. He's one of my mentors. He is somebody that I do get a lot of solid information from. Somebody that I respect in this industry, and not only in this industry, but like in life. He is. Him and I were talking today. My headset actually died when we were talking, um, but we were like having a pretty cool conversation about our children, and you know, I know that Cash, like, I don't know how to say it. Like I know he's my friend. You know what I mean? And I respect the hell out of the guy. Wheel burners in the house. How you doing, man? Good evening, Fate and chat. Just rolling through Philadelphia on the 76 on my way to New Jersey. Have fun, man. You're in my stomping grounds. I just came from that area. Matter of fact, I rode up 76 yesterday out of um out of New Jersey. I didn't take 70, four, what is that, 476 or 496 out of New Jersey. I took 95. But then I rolled up 76. It's not a bad drive. I will say this: there's construction on 76, like when you're heading, um, I'm sure it's north, but like northwest, there's construction, and they have it to where trucks are in the left lane. And I had about two trucks almost hit me yesterday on 76. Speed limit's 55 miles an hour. I drive the speed limit, especially in construction zones. A matter of fact, if the speed limit's 55 in a construction zone, I'm I'm doing probably between 55 and 53 miles an hour. Um, and I follow the rules, like the big signs that say trucks in left lane only. And I had a couple of trucks, FedEx and Estes, that were all over the road, and they come flying by me in the right lane at 70 some miles an hour, probably, and almost took off my mirror. Um, but then there was a car that almost got hit by a FedEx truck, and that car ended up pacing me the entire construction zone. Like, at first, I thought the guy was being kind of a jerk. He wasn't in my blind spot. I could see him, but he paced me. And like I said, I was going 55 miles an hour, and he paced me in the right lane through the whole construction zone. And then when we got to where the construction zone ended, he slowed down so I could get all the way over into the right lane. Um, so props to that guy. He was from Ohio. He had Ohio license plates. Um, but yeah, hope you're having a good night, Wheelburner. EPUs are a good backup. Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. Jerome Jones, you're in Lakeville, Minnesota. No crap. How long are you gonna be in that area, man? Are you leaving right away tomorrow? I will be back in Minnesota on Wednesday. Um, you're not too far from the Twin Cities, brother. Not too far at all. Uh, Scott says we used to idle our trucks. Fuel was less than $1. Yeah, I mean, I don't. I just think the old school truckers had it. I mean, I know how much trucking has changed in the 25 years I've been in the industry, and how trucks have adapted and changed into what they are today. And I mean, I purchased this International for comfortability, right? Like the Mac the Mac, I was outgrowing the Mac, and it wasn't as comfortable as I want my truck to be for when I'm out here on the road. So I think of like old school truckers and like how hard they had it. I mean, you guys were probably laying down in your bed to put your pants on. You know what I mean? Like you weren't standing up. They weren't aerodynamic. They were, shoot, not that long ago, you didn't even have AC. You know what I mean? Oh wow, Scott with a $50 super chat. Scott, uh, you gave 5 earlier. Now I think you're at, wasn't that you that gave 5 earlier? You're at 55. Channel 19 gave 5. I appreciate that, man. Um, thank you. Uh, Google the Super Bowl logo this year. Colors on it, it's 49ers and Ravens. Really? Really? The NFL is rigged. Yeah. You sometimes wonder about that, man. Like there's a channel on YouTube where all he does is says the NFL is rigged, and he puts up little clips of games of things that you would not expect, like a play you wouldn't expect a professional to miss, or a tackle where they're lined up to make the tackle. They have the right angle, they have everything, and they slow up, and the running back or wide receiver runs by them. You know what I mean? Um, I hope it's not rigged, and that's just because I was an athlete and I know how hard I worked in the sport that I played, that if I ever had gotten to like the top level of that and found out it was rigged, like why am I putting my body through this? You know what I mean? For something that's rigged, but it most certainly could be. um, Channel 19 says NFL is weak. Too many new rules and players scared to really play ball. Yeah, I actually agree with that, man. And they talk about that, like I said, in that New Heights podcast. Um, let's see. Jason has been in the NFL. I think he said he's going on his 12th season, and Travis has been in the NFL, what, 10, 11 years? And they talk about the rule changes and how the offense, because Jason is the center for the Eagles. And he talks about the difference in like what he is able to do to the defensive line that's different than when he came in the league, that makes it actually easier for the defense to get to the quarterbacks. And he just talks about all the different rule changes. So it's definitely interesting. Check it out. Um, Kelly Patterson says, I hate EPU. I was in Baker City, Oregon one winter at minus 25, and batteries for the EPU ran out in less than 10 hours plus truck had idle limits, so I could not recharge. I got very cold in the truck. Um so that is part of the reason why I got rid of my EPU on the Mac, was the the heat wasn't where I needed it to be. The cooling never was. The cooling in that truck, I mean, when I had the EPU on, it never got like ice cold. It was it was cool, but not where you were like super comfortable. You know what I mean? Now, I'm sure a new, like, that was a 2015 model. So I'm sure a newer EPU is better than what was on the Mac. So I'm not like really comparing the two, but I don't think you can compare. Well, Cash would say, yes, you can compare, which you can. I think a diesel APU is way better than any electric EPU, or EPU. That is my opinion. I would I think the generator route, what I've experienced the last couple of nights with this. Now, granted, it takes up room. This portable AC unit takes up room in the truck, but I would have rather had this in the Mac than my EPU, you know. And they do make units like this portable AC unit that I have that can also be a heater. I didn't buy that one. I bought one it's a fan, dehumidifier, and AC. I'm like just under $1,000 in this. Um, I literally copied Cash is King. I went and watched his videos. I didn't buy the same generator he has, but I copied what he did. Um, CJ Hudson says EPU are okay as long as the truck has opt idle. So if needed, truck turns itself on to charge the batteries. Um, so I thought about that. Getting what is it, Park Smart, I think, or Idle Smart. Um, there's something you can buy. I thought about buying it for this truck, where it's like a plug-in piece, right? But I didn't want. I ended up not purchasing it because I believe it was $1,000, $50 a month, $500 like installation fee, where somebody just came out, plugged it in, set everything up like the little control thing in the bunk, and then you were good. Um, but I thought that like defeated the purpose. I'm trying not to idle my truck. Um, I don't know how long a truck idles for to rebuild. When does it turn on? When it reads the batteries are 11 amps or something, and then turns on. Um, so I didn't go that route. Like I said, I went the generator route. I was gonna go APU. Um, I just think it's too much money. And I mean, I have the money. If I wanted to go out and buy a new one right now, I could. I just thought it was too much money. Um, and I'm kind of learning not to. Now, I've never been very like frivolous with the money that I've made in trucking, but I spent a lot out of pocket on doing stuff to the Mac that I don't regret. I just miss having that much. I miss having that money in my bank account, if that makes sense. So, with some goals that I have as a business, I'm trying not to spend as much money because I want X amount of capital to take the next step in my business venture. Um, so I decided to, like I said, buy the generator and the portable APU. I am surprised my wife has not texted me. I'm just making sure my wife hasn't texted me and checking if I owe anybody a wrench here. Um, let me see here. Okay, I gave Scott a wrench. Man, you all have wrenches. I didn't realize that. But it's the typical crew, man. There's a few new like Channel 19. Scott. I mean, Scott's been around. I've seen Scott in other lives, and Scott's been in my lives before. But it's basically the normal crew in here tonight. How many people are in here? 30 people on a Sunday night when America's team is playing. Um, Cassius King says, "Can you see how to choose something and spit into the bottle?" No, I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. Although I have become a fan of Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Um, this is my first soda for the day, and it's what? What time is it? 7:30 at night. But I bought two when I got to the truck stop here. Um, but I've been drinking a lot of water lately, and I wanted a soda. I have 4 extra batteries just for that until. So even with that, I'll have to start the truck to recharge. Yes, you will have to start the truck to recharge those batteries. Um, you got to understand it, how much. Hold on. Hold on. I forgot how to mute myself. Oh, excuse me, Shannon or people. yes, you're still going to have to recharge those batteries. Those batteries, depending on how you are cooling the truck, is going to determine how long you have for those batteries to need before the batteries run out and it shuts off. Like I said, I used to get about 8 hours with my EPU. Um, Now the air conditioning, when I if it was very hot out, like I remember one time being in South Carolina and it was hot as heck out down there. I was in Florida too. I was in Jacksonville and it was super hot out. And I only got like 6 hours. Because it just constantly the compressor just never shut off on the AC part. But it was also a weird setup. I had the idle free EPU. That was the brand name, idle free. Um, so it had like this box that blew out cold air. Um, it was weird, but I had like 6 hours before I had to turn the truck on. Um, at least you're gonna have something that you're not gonna have to run the truck as much as you are. I mean, here's the thing: you have a new truck. Um, I don't remember what motor you have in that truck. But the reality is, with these new trucks, the worst thing you can do to them is idle them. I mean, Cash talks about it all the time. He's 100% accurate. Um, I have a Cummins motor. The more you read about things with Cummins motors, I mean, the worst thing you can do to this engine, like what I have, I'm not saying all Cummins motors, I'm saying the engine I have, is idle it. It's the worst thing you can do. Um, okay, Will Burner gets 10 or 12 hours out of his. You must have pretty damn good batteries. Because I had lithium batteries and I could never, and I even bought new ones. I bought 4 new batteries for my EPU, which when when I had them, so I had purchased 4 new batteries for my EPU. I think it was like 15 or $1,600, and then I got the diesel APU put on probably like a month and a half or 2 months later, and I forgot to take the batteries. Um, so the shop that did my work got brand new batteries actually. I can build a sweet lithium battery pack. I've been seeing more people do that. Um, that that Ryan that's got a channel, trucking and fixing with Ryan or something. I've seen that he started doing that. Cash is King and I have talked about it, and I know Cash. Here's the thing: like, if Cash gets an idea, he actually like checks on prices of things. I'm kind of the opposite. I get an idea, I don't pull the trigger right away, but then without like doing a lot of research, I'll just pull the trigger on something. Like, I mean, this Cash can attest to this. Um, he has been telling me day one of me purchasing this truck to go buy a generator and a portable AC unit. And it took me all the way to where now that I'm back in the Midwest, it's cold. I don't need it. I purchased it and used it for 2 nights. And I might not have to use it again. Well, that's not true. I know I'll use it again, but I sat and waited to try and figure out what I was going to purchase for like 6 months. You know, Cash was just making fun of me about that the other day. It powers your cabin. There's another guy, Channel 19. Watch Kyle's Cabins. It's a guy out of Minnesota that lives off grid. Um, oops, that's what he does. Um, yeah, it's a good idea. Good idea for sure. I'd take your wrench for $1. Yeah, you would, Cash. Most definitely would. Here's the thing. Well, I don't need to get into it. Wintertime creates harder draw on batteries, and they can only be recharged so many times. Yeah, but I think those new lithium style batteries are pretty damn good. Um, oh, here we go. Let's just see. I'm not even going to pre-read this. Cash is King says he looks up to me because I'm tall and Paige is really short. He'll say he's not, but he's like 5'1". I am not 5'1", you jackass. You are tall though. Um, when you came walking out from in between my truck and trailer that one night, um, I forgot how tall you were. And yeah, you're a tall dude. I'm definitely not 5'1", um, but you are taller than me. Yes. Um, I have a battery management system and it's Bluetooth and can see my state of charge and all the information on my batteries. That's cool, man. That's cool. Lithium can be charged over 4,000 times if used right. My battery has been in use for over 5 years and still have lots of life left. Yeah, that's what I've heard about those lithium batteries. I don't have really any experience with them, um, except for the EPU that I put those new batteries in. And now that I think about it, I don't know if they were lithium. What's the other AGM? Trying to remember. I mean, that was 2.5 years, 3 years ago now. But yeah, once I got that electric or the diesel APU, that was like an absolute game changer. And if I wasn't worried about money or trying to like do some more money management stuff, I would probably go and buy a new diesel APU because I do like everything that they offer. Not just in the cooling and heating, but keeping your batteries charged and the whole nine, your fluids up to temperature. Um, but I can do that with this generator I bought. Um, I won't get the like I can't put I used to go when I would go ice fishing, I would park my truck for like 3 or 4 days in Minnesota where it was super cold out, and I would turn the auxiliary mode on my Thermo King APU and just walk away from the truck, come back to the truck, and everything would be fine. Batteries were charged, the coolant and oil were warm. Um, I like that about a APU. What I can do now is where I park, I can plug my truck in, but if I'm at a truck stop and I want to shut my truck off in the winter, I'll just fire up the generator and because I have a bunk heater in this truck, I'll just fire up the generator and plug my truck in and put a trickle charge on my batteries if I really feel the need to. You know what I mean? Channel 19, you have a power drive inverter. They have that feature. Well, I think he's talking about he created a battery bank for his cabin, which just like solar, you have you have a way to monitor your charging and how much power you're using and things like that. Which I don't know much about solar either. I'm just regurgitating things my friends have told me. Scott says a construction zone ticket is double the penalty. Will pass on that kind of yeah. Hey man, and you're in a construction zone. And what I've noticed when you go out east, well, even what is that highway 65? Is it 65 that runs south into Indianapolis? That's 65, right, guys? I'm Google mapping it right now. Or yeah, Google mapping. My phone's hot, needs to cool down. How is that possible? I know I'm right. 65, right? Yeah, 65. Um, even the road construction, sorry, I hit the camera. Even the road construction they have on 65 when it says trucks in the left lane, man, like your lanes aren't very wide. So if you're passing people in the right lane because you got to be the super trucker that's going 70, 65 miles an hour in a 50-mile-an-hour construction zone, like you're the problem. You know what I mean? Like you are the absolute problem. Um, I'm not going to listen. Well, you should drive the speed limit. And no, you slow down in construction zones. Like you don't drive so aggressively that you're putting the vehicles that you're passing in jeopardy of getting hit. You just don't do that. That's not being a defensive driver. That's being a complete a-hole. Um, Channel 19 says power drive is trash. I use only pure shine wave inverters. Now, okay. We don't read signs. Yeah, I don't believe that for a minute, Jerome. You'd probably read signs. I know I do. They're talking. It looks like Kelly and Channel 19 are talking. They are decent for truck drivers, but not for an EPU for small houses. Not true. PureWave does not work with my equipment because it sucks. No hablo español or English. Look at that, Cash. Jerome Jones says, I'm just staying for tonight. Pick up in St. Paul, Minnesota at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Well, good luck with that. Where in St. Paul? I mean, you don't have to give away your exact location, but if you're in Lakeville, I bet I know where you're staying. If you're in Lakeville, I'm not going to say where you are, but if you're in Lakeville, I bet I know where you're staying. Go get yourself a burrito. If you're where I think you are, go get yourself a burrito. They're super good. Um, Scott says, first start driving a cab over for 10 cents a mile. See, man, like to me, I'm sure back then that was really good. You know what I mean? I just can't imagine living that life, like having to climb over the doghouse every night, literally not being able to stand up in your truck. Like that had to be a tough life. Had to be a tough life. All right. Besides, I was talking about it, battery management system. Pay me millions. I don't care if the league is rigged. I don't pay me millions and I don't care if the league. Yeah, I don't know about that, Cash. Are you willing to like tear up your ACL and break your neck, break your back to play something that's rigged for I guess some are making hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know if I'd be willing to go through that. I don't know if I would be willing to go through that. Wheel Burner says, back in the day, we would lay a board across the driver and passenger seat and roll both windows down. You would hang your feet out the window, and that's how you slept to stay cool with no AC. That is nuts. I always think about that movie, Over the Top, where they pull over on the side of the road in a day cab Peterbilt, and they just sleep sitting up. I'm sure guys did that. I'm sure guys did that. You know. Okay, everybody's talking about the batteries. I don't want to bore you all with that. You guys can figure it out. Um, Here we go. Music City Transport is in the house. Says APU has worked out great even in Vegas in August. Yeah, my APU on the Mac works out all the time. The Animal is in the house. Top of the evening to you, truck driver. Yeah, there's an old school trucker that grew up driving cab overs and crap like that. Um, Animal's a good dude. Hope you're having a good night, man. Abandoned P Jugs in the house. Good evening. Good evening to you, sir. Um, Recruitment that is sensitive to frequency. All right. You guys are still talking about that stuff. Cassius King says Shannon thinks about getting a generator and battery charger so you don't have to idle. Yeah, Shannon, listen to what Cash is saying. I'm not saying if you already have an EPU on your truck, like you already have it, use it. But Cash is right about the generator and stuff. And here's the thing, Cash can attest to this. Every time he tells me something and I wait months to do it, I end up telling him, man, I don't know why I waited so long to do this. I wish I would have done it the minute you told me to do it. Um, Listen, the guy's been in the industry a long time. He knows what the hell he's talking about, and he tries things. That's something I think goes unnoticed about Cash is anytime Cash is talking about something, it's coming from a perspective of him actually like trying it and him doing it. Um, and I don't know why I question him. You know what I mean? Uh, so props to you, Cash. Props to you. Yeah, Shannon, really, and Shannon, the generator I bought is a 2000-watt peak and 1650, I believe, or is it 1600 Predator. And it cost me like I think it was $600, $605 or something like that. It's super expensive. Or super expensive, super inexpensive. Sometimes the live shows I watch happen during my awake time. My schedule is all over the place. Yeah, Scott, I'm a reefer hauler, man. My schedule is all over the place too. I actually, so I woke up, drove to where I am, and fell asleep and took a nap. So I got a feeling I'm going to be up for quite a while tonight, which sucks because my first delivery is at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and I left myself about an hour. I need about an hour to get to my first delivery. Um, but yeah, with that weird schedule, like I sleep when I'm like my schedule's so over all over the place that I don't have like a normal sleep pattern. And I've gotten to the point where if I sleep for like 3 hours, I'm solid. Like I'm good. I can get up and I might have to pull over and take a nap in a little while, but for the most part, if I get a few hours of rest now, I'm usually solid. Here we go. Hi, go to bed. I shouldn't have done that. DIY semis in the house. Uh, Boss man. Um, I don't know what else to say. If you see what's scrolling on the bottom of the screen there, DIY, I am the OTR driver manager. Um, Cummins X15. Okay, yeah, Shannon, you got the same motor I got. Some solid advice: do your best not to idle that truck. Um, do your very best not to idle it. Uh, Evening DIY. DIYs. How much torque on the Cummins? Oh, you want to know what's hilarious? Is Cash is King sent me a photo or a picture the other day of a phone holder, right? It was a cup holder, phone holder, and it was made by Cummins. And he's like, I wonder how much torque this phone holder has. It's absolutely hilarious. David Edwards is in the house. What up, man? I see you almost every day, brother. Almost every day. Uh, Barry has fallen off. I don't know what happened to Barry. So like David Edwards, you are like the top commenter. Um, oh, I recognize this name too. Walking each other home. That's a great name. It's a great name. People saying hi to DIY Semi. Um, WCF Invaders in the house. What's going on, brother? How are you? Hey, Fate. If mine was working right, I could get a minimum of 8 hours, but normally 10 with my new AGM batteries. Yeah, that's depending on where I was. Like I said, even running my heater, depending on what climate I was in, actually made a difference on how long the battery stayed charged. Cassius King says idle Cummins sounds like a poor. That's funny. I got 5 hours with the portable AC with my sleeper battery pack. So I got 8 hours the other night. Seven and a half, about 7.5, 8 hours the other night on my generator and portable AC unit. Um, My generator holds almost 2 gallons of fuel, like 1.9 gallons of fuel, or gasoline. Um, and I had it on eco mode, but I'm still trying to figure out like the kinks of it. Um, there's times like the compressor for the AC unit will kick on and then it like overloads. I don't know what it does. It just shuts off and turns back on. And then will work. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. But I'm happy with this so far. Um, as long as I stay cool, those 3 nights of not having any type of air conditioning where it was miserable. Like, I mean, I was dying. It was absolutely miserable. And I made decisions to continue to haul freight and then would get pissed off that I was hauling the freight. And I was not in a good mood. Matter of fact, I called DIY and just started, for lack of a better word, bitching. Like I was venting because I was talking to my wife and she was like trying to be helpful. And I found myself getting very irritated with what she was saying to me. And I didn't want to be mean to my wife. So I hung up with my wife and called DIY and just went off the handle. Uh, WCF Invader says if it's only 70 or 80 out, I can get a full 10 with a portable AC unit. Okay, that's good to know. I mean, I don't even know what the temperature is. At least 70 degrees, right? So where I am, it's currently 71 degrees, and I'm not even running anything. Like, I got my side windows open and my front windows rolled down about this much, but I will roll those up before I go to bed because of where I am. Yeah, it does work good. I'm pretty impressed with it. I mean, it's only been a couple of days, but yeah, I like it. Cassius King says, sell your pumpkins before Halloween. Uh, my prejudice against EPU is mainly based on the fact that you could not idle the truck to recharge them when they run dry due to two company policies. Drivers be damned. Yeah, that sucks, Kelly. You should be allowed to recharge your batteries. Especially, I mean, what happens if your company can't find you a load and you're sitting for longer than 10 hours? You know what I mean? Wheel Burner Express says if I had a generator, I could plug it into the shore power outlet on my truck, and the generator with would power all the outlets and everything inside. Yes, that's true. I don't have shore power in this truck. There's things I have to add to this truck to get it to where I want it to be. This literally is like a basic company mega fleet truck. You know, I mean, screw it. I think I've said it. My truck came from Swift Knight. I mean, that's where this truck came from. Um, when I purchased it, I was told that it came from a different company. That's also a carrier. Um, but I knew a little bit more about that mega carrier than Knight. And then the first time I brought this truck to an international dealership to get the turbo actuator replaced, they the way international does it is they like have the life anytime that truck has been plugged into any type of computer where Navistar was used, like Navistar software, it keeps track of everything on the truck. Um, so the guy printed out this report for me and handed it to me, and it said Swift Knight. It said that they owned the truck. And I was like, wait a minute. I asked the guy, I'm like, this was a Swift Knight truck? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, look, you can see everything they've ever done to the truck anytime that the Navistar system was hooked up to it, which I think I've said this before. That's one thing I miss about the Mac was the Mac, everything was like integrated. The like everything, the motor, transmission. On this truck, if I mess with like my diagnostic tool, I have to either be in the international software or the Cummins software. I don't like that. Because I know I'll mess something up. Kelly says, I will always prefer APU to an EPU because they are much more versatile in what they can do, giver or take setup. Yeah, I agree with that, Kelly, 100%. You can use that generator to keep your EPU batteries topped off. I'm sure you could find a way to charge it. Sawzall. I keep a cordless Sawzall that I can hook to the throttle to just slowly move throttle so truck doesn't shut off if my APU messes up. I keep a cordless Sawzall that I can hook to the throttle to just slowly move the throttle so truck doesn't shut off if my APU messes up. So that's kind of weird, Scott. I could not run my APU with the engine of the truck running. My truck had to be turned off for my APU to kick on. At least the one I had on the Mac. I couldn't run anything with the truck running. I mean, unless I was plugged into one of the outlets, like I could run my microwave and stuff like that if the truck was the truck was running, but I couldn't. None of the functions of the APU would work. Like if I turned the AC on, the APU wouldn't kick on. My truck had to be turned off. I think. I'm pretty sure. I know it would. It would throw a code because I've left it on before. I left my APU on all day once and forgot about it, and then came into the bunk and went turn it on, and I had to reset it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Kelly. My APU heated up all the liquids and everything, or all the coolant and uh, basically it's still lead acid. Okay, hold on. Oh, sorry. In my opinion, you shouldn't. I got the freaking thing up right here. I should read it right in front of me instead of looking to my right. In my opinion, you shouldn't need to run the truck at all in the winter unless you suspect the truck could gel. If your battery goes dead, you can always jump from the generator. I could jump it from the reefer. Had to do that before. Not one of my trucks. One of my old company trucks I used to drive had I was at the time I was a local route driver. Basically, I was a milkman. I delivered to Walmart's, Sam's Clubs, Menards, and then like little gas stations, like your Super Americas, which are now Speedways. Um, and I was in a truck one day that had like an idle shut off, which it was one of the newer trucks in the fleet. None of the other trucks had it, and we just let those trucks run. Like you didn't shut them off. And I got out and made my delivery and came back, and my truck was dead. Um, so I just hooked up jumper cables from the reefer to the truck, turned the reefer on continuous, and waited like I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, and the truck fired right up. David Edwards, 69. Hey, Fade, how much is your rate to pick up a desk from IKEA at Mall of America and ship it to Fargo? IKEA site says no shipping, and I want a new desk. Uh, so it's not so much going to Fargo, it's that you want me to go to the Mall of America. Um, that is a place that I despise. Um, IKEA actually isn't connected to the mall, so yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I can't believe they wouldn't ship it to Fargo. That seems odd. Um, That seems very odd because Fargo, I mean, Fargo's not that far. You're talking 4.5 hours. CJ Hudson says Cowboys missed a point after attempt, but lead 6-0. Okay. Like I said, I'm not a huge Cowboys fan. Um, I should be a fan of like another sports team. When I think about it, like all the teams I'm a fan of are because I live in Minnesota. You know what I mean? Minus hockey. I am a fan of the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Washington Capitals in hockey, but I'm also a big fan of the Minnesota Wild. I'll tell you who I am becoming a fan of. I listened to the game yesterday. I do think Colorado, the University of Colorado, the Buffaloes are legit. Like they dominated. I mean, they played Nebraska. The Gophers beat Nebraska barely. Um, I think in the next year, we're going to be surprised in college football on what Deion Sanders is able to do. Um, Boy, they got a good team, and I'm slowly becoming a fan. I will watch. I probably will either listen or watch every Colorado game this year in college football just to say I did, because yesterday was super entertaining. They started off slow and then they just came out and dominated. I mean, to take a Big Ten team and say what you want about Nebraska, right? But they're a Big Ten team. Um, and you're going up against a Pac 12 team that really, I mean, I think they won one game last year, and Colorado did. And to get dominated by Colorado in what should have been a game that Nebraska should have won is amazing to me. And, I know it was a shootout between TCU, but you just went up against a team that played for the national championship and beat them in a shootout game. They got a tough road ahead of them, though. I think they play Oregon next, which that'll be a fun game. Abandoned P Jug says, and I don't want to drive 10 hours round trip for a desk. Yes, I don't blame you. That is a boring drive, too. You get out, you get past like Fergus Falls heading west to Fargo. Like, that's a boring drive, man. Super boring. I don't blame you for that. Um, Kelly says, just hook up a nuke EPU and you'll be good to go for decades. Yeah. What if they created some sort of nuclear APU? Driving around with that on your truck. What's up, flip flops? I'll make you uncomfortable. What's going on, man? Yeah, I've started I don't want to get into feet talk. Greg, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? How's it going, my friend? We're doing good. I tried getting a hold of you the other day. I hear you're doing something a little different, and I just wanted to see how things were going. I did try and call you the other day, man. Hope things are going good. Um, Kelly says flip flops are bonehead trucker fighting words. Yeah, listen, I I've never worn sandals. I've never worn flip flops. I mean, I wear flip flops to go take a shower. You know what I mean? At truck stops, but I have never. I wear. I'm surprised that I wear tennis shoes right now, and shorts. Because when I was a company guy for as long as I was, I always had to be in pants and work boots. Except when I had my regional job, then I had to be in pants. We still had a uniform we had to wear, but I could wear tennis shoes for that job. So it's still weird to like wear tennis shoes and jump out of the truck wearing shorts and a t-shirt. I've never been big on flip flops and I don't or any type of sandals when I'm driving. 9-0 for the Cowboys now. Okay. DIY Semi saying what up to Greg. Biggest rig sport in the USA is boxing. Man, I haven't watched boxing since Mike Tyson era, and I was a kid then. Um, it's funny that you said that. I just got the burrito. Yummy. Yeah, the burrito's legit, bro. The burrito is legit. Like I know right where you are. I'm from Minnesota, man, and I live probably an hour away from there, and I'll stop and spend the night there sometimes, like if I know I'm gonna be home super late because I don't want to wake up the kids or wake up the wife. Um, so I'll stay where you are and I'll go in there and get a burrito. They make good tacos too. Street tacos. They make good tacos. Um, I'll make you uncomfortable says hands on. Hands on. I forgot what I was talking about. DIY Semi, is Cash the only one you don't listen to? Duh. Listen, listen. I don't need to talk to you. I'm not even going to answer that. Not even going to answer that, DIY. I listen to both of you. I pay attention to what you both say. Here's the thing. Why can't I learn some things on my own? Right? What works for me might not work for you. Um, I have come to find out what works for you and Cash typically does work for me as well. I'm just stubborn sometimes. Moats in the house says, "How's it going, Fate? Here in Indiana, waiting to get loaded." Yeah, we're hanging out tonight, man. I don't deliver until tomorrow. I made a bonehead mistake today. Let me tell you. Matter of fact, I was on the phone with DIY Semi, just as he says, jaw jacking. Or no, that's Cash. Cash says jaw jacking. Um, I was talking to DIY and I did something I typically don't do from the East Coast. I actually took, it's for content. I'm not going to pretend it's not. I took the toll roads. I took every toll road to where I am. Just to talk about the costs of taking toll roads versus the non-toll route. Because the non-toll route to go to where I'm going only adds 35 miles. So let me rephrase that. If I would have taken Highway 68, it would have added like 100 miles, which in my mind, it's not cost effective then for me to take that way because I'm going to spend more in fuel. Highway 68, I spend a lot of money going up and down those hills. But if I took 76 to like 70, I'm only going to pay $63 in tolls. But I ended up taking the whole tollway, Highway 80, Ohio Turnpike, Indiana Turnpike. Long story short, I ended up missing my exit and I took the frickin' Skyway into Chicago, which brought me like 20 miles away from where I wanted to be. So I had to backtrack 20 miles and spend 40 some dollars taking a toll bridge I didn't need to take. Um, and I was on the phone with DIY. I'm like, am I going the right way? And and he looked up where I was on the ELD real quick. He's like, no, man, like you missed your exit. And I was just talking and missed my exit. Reefer madness. Hey man, I don't mind reefers. Uh, lock your doors tonight and they'll rob you. No, they won't rob me, and I can leave here. I got a plan, DIY. I don't even know why you question me. I got a plan. Hit that thumbs up. Yeah, I appreciate that. I make you uncomfortable. Thank you. Thank you. I got a plan for tonight. Cassius King says, I just walked over and filled up my gas can for my generator, $8.63 or $8.66. That's about 2 nights worth of gas. You know what? Let me look at something here, Cash, because I filled Where's my receipts? Well, I filled my generator this morning. I filled my generator and my uh, fuel can, my gas can this morning. I carried both. I carried the generator over to the fuel pump and the gas can, and I just can't find my receipt. And I want to say where I paid, oh, here it is. I paid $13.28 for my gas. Um, I ended up pumping 4.1 gallons of gasoline this morning. And yeah, it's cheap. I'll get 2 nights with that, probably more. What I need to do is figure out I need a good way to set it up. I'll do that when I get home. Find a good way to put it in the window, the exhaust pipe. Jason's in the house saying, "What up? What's going on, Jason? How are you, man?" Um, Getting ready to purchase a truck from Lone Mountain. Oh, I haven't looked at Lone Mountain in a while. They got some good deals there. Um, I know at one time they before the market like really exploded, they had some pretty decent like monthly charges for their trucks. The trucks were good trucks. I wish you luck, Mo. Wish you absolute luck. Um, Skip Hansen with a $50 super chat says, "Stop busting DIY's nuggets." Oh, he can handle it, Skip. He can handle it. Um, yeah, thank you, Mr. Skip Hansen. I appreciate that. Greg Zimmer says it's not cheap, but the Electric Hive 2200 portable power station works great with my Zero Breeze. So, Greg, that's funny you bring that up because that was something I was looking at too. I think I shared that online on one of my last lives. I reached out to a company and said, "Hey, I got a YouTube channel." Basically, I was seeing if they wanted to give me something for free and I would promote it and talk about it and things like that. And in the most nicest professional way they could, I got an email back that said, "Yeah, you're not really what we're looking for. Your channel isn't as big as we like, you know what I mean?" Oh, this might be my wife. If this is my wife, I'm gonna. Problem is, I don't see them. The person that texted me, I don't see them. Um, they don't come up. If you understand what I'm saying, maybe text me back. Uh, because I don't see them like that. I see them in the chat. Um, maybe I should look at YouTube. Maybe that would help me. Because I get what you're saying. Super entertaining. I know. Sorry, guys. Okay. Hold on. So where am I leaving off? Greg Zimmer. Holy crap. It's way down there. We got another $5 super chat. "I got a video coming out in the morning all about toll roads. Hashtag Cash did it first." Yeah, go figure. That doesn't surprise me. Um, every time I come up with an idea, uh, I end up realizing Cash has done it way before me. And I don't, like I said, I don't realize it until he informs me, or he'll send me a link from a video he did 3 years ago and it's on the same topic. Um, Kelly says, "Skip, his wife has his nuggets in her purse." Oh, DIY's nuggets are in his wife's purse, huh? CJ Hudson says, 16-0 Giants ain't doing nothing tonight. That sucks. It's Cowboys though, man. Uh, Rich is in the house, says, "Old school trucking Raycon spring drive, no power steering. Yeah, see, man, that's running team from Michigan to California. That had to be crazy with those big ass like 20-inch steering wheels. Yeah, I couldn't do that. That would be hard. Oh, that's what she said. Good evening, everybody. Sorry I'm late. Didn't get the notification. That's because I just went live, Cheap Freight Hauler. I found out that to get a notification sent out, you need to put it in StreamYard a half hour before you go live. Um, and I didn't do that. I just went live tonight. Uh, CJ Hudson says EPU, the Kirk Cousins of staying cool at night in the truck. Yeah, it manages it, I guess. Good one. Ah, that's a cool name. Easy Travels. What is a good APU? Green tri-pack carrier. So I happen to like tri-pack, but that's just because of what I had on the truck, or what I purchased. I purchased a refurbished tri-pack. Um, I don't know much about like the green APUs. I know a couple of people that have them, and what I wouldn't like about that is, which I think is the same for carrier. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this. But the green APU is kind of like a generator. It doesn't shut off. It just runs. Um, my Thermo King tri-pack, say if I set a thermostat in my truck to 70 degrees, it's going to get the temperature to 70 degrees and then shut off and not restart again until whatever I have the program temperature swing at, which I think I programmed mine to be 4 degrees. So it wouldn't go back on again until it got to 74 degrees in the truck. And then it would kick back on. The green APU just continuously runs. Even like the auxiliary mode for my tri-pack, meaning the truck's turned off, I'm away from it, it would start up, get all the fluids and batteries to the right voltage, the right temperature, and then shut off and then maintain that. It wouldn't just run. And as far as I know, based on talking to the people that I know own it, sorry, I just got a text. Got to respond to it. That's a good dude right there. Sorry, somebody somebody that helped me fix my compressor on my truck just texted me, asked me if everything was okay. Good people. um so I'm kind of easy travels. I happen to like the Thermo King tri-pack. Now you're going to talk to other people that swear by like the green APU or the carrier. I talked to one guy a couple of weeks ago that was a carrier guy, and he's like, "Oh, you should check out the carrier APU instead of the Thermo King." But as far as I know, what he was explaining to me, it was the same concept. Like it continuously runs. I don't like that because you can kind of hear it. Um, and where I put my generator, I can't hear my generator. Like I'm surprised at how quiet this generator is. Um, Carfax. What was I talking about cars? Kelly says that's why you never see emergency service like hospitals use EPUs as a primary backup. They always use petrol fire generators as main and battery as its backup. VinWiki. What are we talking about here? I'll make you uncomfortable. What are we talking about? I'm confused now. Hopefully this isn't against your company rules, but you might be able to run a portable AC off the reefer. Company rules? I own all the equipment, WCF Invader. I can do whatever the hell I want. No company is going to tell me what I can and can't do with my equipment. I'll probably have to sign something tomorrow corporate will frickin' HR is going to reach out to me and tell me what I can and can't do with my equipment. No, I own. I don't own the trailer outright. I'm still making payments on the trailer, but it's my trailer. I spend money on maintaining it and everything like that. Which, yeah, it's running. It better be running. Cheap Freight Hauler says you should switch the tri-pack from the Mack to the Intertrash. Hey, this is a good truck. Like, I am very happy. When I purchased this, there was a time where I was kind of down about purchasing it because I paid more for it than what I would pay today for it. But why I purchased this truck was a business decision for economic reasons. And as of right now, it's working out. Like, it's working out. Doesn't mean I'm going to own it forever. I have 370,000 miles on this truck. Maybe I'll sell it in a year or two and buy something different. I mean, I don't know. I know right now I'm happy with it. But here's the thing: why I haven't switched the APU from the Mack to the International is if I sell the International, that's something that truck needs. That truck needs that APU. I I would rather sell it with the APU on it, you know, because I know what that truck was like before it had that APU on it, and if somebody wants to buy the Mack, I want them to have a good experience with it, and that APU makes all the difference. Yeah, I like my tri-pack too, Kelly. I like it. I had a tri-pack before. I have a green APU now, and good so far. Yeah, I'm not saying they're a bad unit. I know nothing about them. I've never owned one. I can only go off of what people tell me about them that own them. Um, and I know I don't want something that continuously runs. Hold on a second. Oh, how am I going to do this? I take omeprazole for acid reflux, and I ran out. I haven't been able to find any, so taking some Tums. These Tums are Rolaids. Tums. God darn it. I'm just falling apart here. Well, what is going on? Sorry, guys. What's going on here? Where did my... Well, this is screwed up. Oh! Not that you guys care. I misplaced something. But I remember where I put it. There we go. All right. Let's get back to this. Come on, Scott. Hold it together. You're falling apart. Falling apart. I got some advice that I'm trying to follow right now, and it's not working out. Well, anyways, Cassius King says, "Wow, jumping that Colorado bandwagon a little late. I'm surprised there's still room for that bandwagon." Hey, man, I thought it was odd. So last year I watched him. What was that school that he was at last year? I want to say Wayne State, but it's not. Like they played really well. And then yeah, when Deion was hired to Colorado, I was curious on how good they were going to be because he literally went in there and like cleaned everything out, like brought in a bunch of players. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a good story for college football if you like college football. Um, CJ Hudson says, you better hurry and do that Deion thumbnail before Cash does it, or just another hashtag Cash did it first. Cash has probably already done it. He's probably worked on that for a month. I found a YouTube live of Colorado game. CJ, that's how I listened to the game yesterday. 100 at one point there was like 190 or 180,000 people in there, and he live streams. I subscribe to that guy's channel, by the way. He live streams all the Colorado games and he doesn't get copyrighted, which I don't know how that happens. Like, he has them all. Like, I didn't believe that YouTube would keep the games up. So I subscribed to his channel. And when I parked last night, he has games from last year still up on his channel. And he would come in every now and then and say, I don't make money on this. That's how come I don't get copyrighted or anything. Like, whoever owns the copyright makes the money on the video, like after it's published. But his videos have advertisements on them. If you go back and watch a video from a year ago, it's got an advertisement on it. Um, what do we got here? That is awesome. That is awesome. That a boy. That a boy. Everybody go check your notifications. Everybody go check your notifications. That is a gangster move right there. Good one, Cash. But yeah, that's funny, CJ. That's how I listened to the game yesterday. Um, Epic Trucking Fails is in the house. Everybody go check out that channel. That is quickly becoming my favorite channel on YouTube, without a doubt. Robbie Hanson's in the house, says Epic Trucking Fails is better than Boneheads. I don't know who we're talking about here. Scott just came out of Fort Morgan, Colorado yesterday. I used to work. When I say work, I spent time in Colorado. I spent time in what was that city called? Commerce City, and would drive between Commerce City and Boulder, Commerce City and Aurora, Colorado. Yeah, I there was a company I worked for that had a terminal out there, and I would go out there every now and then and work. Nice area. At least I thought it was. Um, Toll road gang. Yeah, I don't take a lot of toll roads. I ended up doing it yesterday and today. Don't really know why. I think I wanted to see. It's been so long since I've taken it. I wanted to see how much it cost, and then I realized, holy crap, I'm on the Skyway bridge, which is like 40 some dollars, and I didn't need to take it. Um, oh yeah, from ESPN. I know exactly what you're talking about, Cheap Freight Holler. Once again, thank you, Cassius King, for the $5 super chat. Appreciate that. Um, well, someone just died in a lot in Pilot in Brooks, Oregon from overdose. Holy crap. Covering the body for good. That's crazy. It's crazy. Drugs are impacting, well, drugs, yeah. In Kansas City and Oklahoma, you're better off taking the tollway due to the alternate routes adding miles with stop and go traffic. Yeah, see, but coming from the East Coast, I agree with that because I've been out in that area, WCF Invader. And I forget what highway I took to bypass. I came out of Texas and I took some, was it was some front, it was some highway that like ran parallel with 35. Um, yeah, it wasn't a good idea. But coming from the East Coast, it doesn't add many miles to take like Route 30 or Highway 30 or take Highway 20. Doesn't add that many miles. And but taking 68 adds miles, and that road is just, I mean, I burn a lot of fuel going through it. There's a lot lizard sweat distribution. Well, go check out his channel right now. He's got something up that's pretty funny. Scott LOL. Hollywood, that reefer guy, what up? Where you be? We are in the Midwest tonight. I am right outside of, I deliver tomorrow in the Chicagoland area, and I'm right outside that right now. Um, well, I need to give you my sheets for some ass in my pillow, some head. What? Have a good night, Scott. Have a good night. I was unaware you owned your trailer. Yeah. Yep. If you're gonna do it, you might as well go big, WCF Invader. My green APU will start and stop in battery maintenance mode. Okay, see, I didn't know that. Um, I'm only going off of what I was told by. I had a friend get a green APU put on about a year ago, and him and I were talking, and he's like, "Oh, I need to do an oil change on my APU. I'm already at 1,000 hours," and I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I go, "You just put it on. Like, how are you at 1,000 hours already?" And he's like, "Well, it doesn't shut off." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "No, if you turn it on, it just runs continuous." And I was like, "Oh, like now that makes sense why you have so many hours already on it, because it doesn't stop running." Where like like I said, my tri-pack turns on and off. No, cheap freight hauler. Mine just had a digital pad that had like a mode button to change it to air conditioning, fan, auxiliary mode, or heat. And then it had another digital readout for the temperature I wanted to set it to. And then it had buttons for like fan speed, um, and then a button to control the temperature. I didn't have the three knobs. Mark Ely's in the house. Mark, we deliver it to the same facility. And the only reason I know that is I looked at Google reviews, and the first Google review that came up was yours. I hope you're still in here, because it was the other night when I went live too, and I forgot to mention it. But I read your review, and your review was accurate. I'm not going to say the name of the facility I was at, but because it's a facility I go to quite a bit, or will be going to quite a bit. But your review was the on Google was the first one I saw, and it was funny because I was like, Mark Ely, and it's got the same picture and everything. Um, I got that Dion, I got that Dion thumbnail done. CJ hashtag Cash did it first. Yeah, it's quite funny. Everybody, Cash set up a live tomorrow. Is it something that's viewable, Cash? Um, because yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Mark, I see dead people literally. Oh yeah, somebody died. Um, CJ says, "Dang, Cash, you are faster, but that's why you Cash Daddy Prime." Yes, that is why. Brilliant, brilliant. By the way, Cash. US 69. I don't remember what highway it was that I was on when I came out of Texas, but it was a nightmare. I should never have gone that way. Trying to skip tolls. Um, they have to run because they use a radiator style heater, not a diesel fired heater. Okay, interesting. I wish someone would get the setup. Trucking and fixing with Ryan is selling. I'm very interested to hear from someone who has it firsthand. Well, Ryan's putting in the essentially an EPU. I am. What city and state? You know what? I want to say I was in Pennsylvania. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was either Pennsylvania, Connecticut. I don't think it was Massachusetts. I think it was Pennsylvania. And you know what? I remember where I went in Pennsylvania. So let me um, and maybe I'll be able to figure it out. Uh, I know this is entertaining, but I thought it was pretty funny when I looked it up. And the review, the first review that came up was from Mark Ely. So it wasn't the Pennsylvania place. Let me look at another facility I was at. Uh, it's funny when you recognize that, though. Wasn't that location either. I'm trying to remember which one it was. But yeah, Mark, you were the first one that came up, and I thought that was pretty funny. Um, and like I said, what you put down as a review was very accurate. Very accurate. Scrolling down here. Yes, it was a good review. It was a good review. Cheap Freight Holler says my first tri-pack had that controller. My second was an Evolution that had the 3 knobs. This time of year was hard because it would auto switch from AC to heat. Oh, that's weird. Mine wouldn't do that. But like I said, mine was old school. Um, so is go to sleep with AC on, wake up freezing, and have to switch it to heat. Yeah. Well, that even happened with mine. Like all of a sudden I'd wake up and be freaking really cold. Yes, it was a good review, Mark. Um, so you do have that EcoFlow. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I was gonna do one of those portable power stations. Um, just do that. But they were expensive, man. I think the one I wanted was like 19 or 1800 bucks, maybe even more than that. Maybe it was like 2 grand. And like I said, this generator I bought was like 600 bucks. I'll tell you exactly how much it was. And I purchased it in a state that doesn't have state tax, which I thought was kind of cool. I did purchase I purchased a 1 year warranty on it too. Um, yeah, it was $619. And then I put a 1 year repair and replacement plan on it for $160. So I bought motor oil, a cable, a gas can, 2 ratchets, um, an extension cord, the generator, and the repair plan for $834.43. Um, and then I bought the AC was $329. So that's what I'm like $1,200 in. You know, yeah, probably around 12, a little bit more than 1,200 bucks. Um, and that was without doing any type of bargain shopping or anything like that. I was like, you know what? I'm going to spend my money today. I I was with some people out on the East Coast that helped me fix my APU, and they offered to drive me to a Harbor Freight and Walmart and stuff like that, and a Lowe's. Um, so I said, I'm just going to buy what I need now. I don't care how much it costs, and I just went in and bought the stuff I needed. So yeah, about $1,200, and I'm going to be comfortable. Yeah, that's the one you want, the EcoFlow one. I think someday, well, right now I don't need it. Like I'm good. If I had the Zero Breeze, that so that's what I sat and contemplated for months, guys, was do I spend $1,500 on the Zero Breeze with the batteries, or do I buy a generator with a portable AC unit? Um, I didn't know which way to go. I know other people outside of Cash that have the Zero Breeze who basically have the same review Cash does. It works well for where they are. It might not work as well, like if you're down in Texas and Florida and crap like that. It can't keep up with the humidity and heat. Um, and I don't run those lanes, so I wasn't worried about it. But I was at, like I said, I just got to the point where it's like I'm done. I will never live how I just lived the last 3 days. I'm gonna buy what I'm gonna buy right now. Um, Hollywood says, "Man, I got a bone to pick with you. I emailed you last week. You emailed me? I'll check my emails, Hollywood." Well, I wonder if this is you. I do have an email. Did you email me about LTL freight, Hollywood? Did you email me about LTL freight? Um, if you did, the reason I didn't respond is you didn't put Hollywood in there, so I don't know who you are. uh, and I'm busy. Not trying to be an a-hole to you, but it's tough. It's tough to respond to everything all the time. But I will respond if that's what you emailed me, Hollywood. Leave in the comments right now that's you, because then I'll know it's you. That's something I'll tell you. If you email me and your name is different than what your name is on YouTube, which is a very good idea, and I don't respond, it's because I don't recognize the name. And whoa, me, like, I mean, I do get emails, but I also, if I don't recognize the name, I don't respond to it because I don't know if it's legit or not, if that makes sense. Mark Ely says, I might be getting into pharmacy reefer game. Put of Indianapolis to New Jersey on a dedicated round. Oh wow. I've heard I've heard good things and bad things about that type of pharmacy work. Um, what I've heard bad is they tell you where you can and cannot stop, where you can and can rest. Um, I used to know a guy that had a dude, this thing was like a motorhome on wheels. One of those big ass freaking trucks. Um, and that's what he did. He ran pharmaceuticals. And the reason his truck was designed like that is like he couldn't stop at truck stops. Uh, they wouldn't allow him to. He had to stay at the facilities he was delivering to. So that's why he had a truck like that. So he could take a shower, use the bathroom, and stuff like that. He only could stop for a certain amount of time in transit. Um, but I know nothing about that work, Mark Ely. I know that you're a hustler, so you'll figure out what works for you. Tolga channel members in the house. What's going on, brother? John's in the house. Hello. Is this the place where I find out what it is? It is, John. It is. And hopefully you already know what it is. Um, people saying hi to Tolga, Mark. Um, Kelly says, good luck, Mark. Anything doing with pharmacy, you're going to have to pass a credit check and DEA check to start. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, bringing that back up. DJ DD's in the house. Here we go. More guy talking about loads. Yes. Yes. I know you get a kick out of that. Tell me I gave you a wrench months ago. All right, good. Good. How you doing, brother? If you're still in here, how you doing, man? Um, wait a minute. Hollywood's got a bone to pick with me because I didn't respond to an email. I left DJ ADD a voicemail a month ago or so, I believe, that I never got a response on. Um, already passed, brother. Thanks. Well, good for you, man. Good for you, Mark. Earn that money. Yeah, do what you can right now to get money, man. I mean, not just right now. At every stage in your life, do what you can to get money. Um, I know. I know. You do owe me a call, bro. You do. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Um, yeah, I'm ready for hockey season to start. Uh, what's funny is I don't want to share too many details. I I have season tickets now to the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers hockey, which uh, I had years ago. I used to have tickets to the hockey, the Gophers hockey team, and the college football team way back in the day when they played in the Metrodome. And I decided this year I was going to buy season tickets for the hockey team again. I'm not going to be able to make many games, but I just something about the Gophers, man. Living in Minnesota, growing up there, I always wanted to play for the Gophers, um, and I enjoy it. And here's the thing: there's so many good players in Minnesota hockey right now, and even at the high school level, that a lot of them stay in state. I mean, a lot leave the state too, but it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch these kids' progressions into playing for like, well, since you're in here, playing for Cretin Durham Hall, or playing for Hill Murray or St. Thomas or Eden Prairie, Minnetonka, and then going and playing college hockey at the U, and then eventually getting drafted to the NHL. Like that's fun to watch the progression of these kids. Um, and it's the state of hockey, so it's always a good time. And we treat hockey kind of like football down south. There are some teams like, for example, say Edina is playing Minnetonka or Hill Murray or Eden Prairie, and it's at Braemar Ice Arena on a Thursday night, Friday night, even Saturday. That arena is going to be full. Like it's going to be full, and it's a lot of fun to watch. Um, I actually miss hockey. The more I think about it, not that you guys care. I quit playing hockey years ago, and every time I put my skates back on, I'm reminded on why I quit playing, just because my body. I'm at the point now where, like, if I played men's league hockey, I need to play it like at least 2 times a week, if not 3 times a week, and just to feel good. Like, because the way I played, I mean, it's you're not going out there just skating around. You're playing to win. And even at 43 years old, like I'm going to play on a team that's competitive. So we're going to play to win. So you're hurt, like you're sore after you're done playing. And the only way that you're not hurt and you're not sore is by playing multiple times a night or multiple times a week. And I just don't have the time to do that. I just don't have the time to do that. Okay, Hollywood. Well, I'll make sure to get back to you because I did read that. I know what you were asking. I did read that email. Um, and here's the thing, guys. If you email me and I don't respond to you right away, it's not because I'm I'm busy. Like I got I got multiple. I mean, that's a different email, so I have to log into it. Um, but I'm busy. You know what I mean? And if I don't recognize a name, I'm probably not going to respond to you. So leave if you do email me, leave a like let me know I know you somehow. Um whether it's through a live show or whatever, and I'm probably more likely to respond. Um because I'll be honest with you, Hollywood, there's people in this chat who have emailed me that I've responded to. So I do respond to emails. Um Shannon Thomas Trucking says hockey is cool. Always love being there live than watching it on TV. Yeah, I mean, I like being at all sport. Excuse me. I really enjoy um, being at any sporting event live versus watching it on TV, minus baseball. I would prefer to watch baseball on TV, unless it's at like a cool stadium. Like I went out and watched the Rockies play a couple of times, and I think their stadium is cool and they got good food and you walk around. But I'd rather be at a live event. And I think over like all the sports I enjoy and all the things I like to watch, probably the biggest event that I enjoy going to is the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament, without a doubt. It, it's 3 days of some of the best hockey you are going to see in the country, without it. Like uh, the teams that make the tournament are all pretty good teams. I mean, you might get one or two teams. You'll get one team in the AA bracket that it might be not as good as the other teams just because of where that team's coming from. Like they could be a northern team, but here's the thing. Like in AA hockey in Minnesota, if you are a top echelon team, you put these other teams on your schedule through the year. So you're going to travel, hours to play. Like you might come from Duluth, Minnesota down to the Twin Cities to play Hill Murray. Moorhead does it. Moorhead is up by Fargo. They drive all the way down to the Twin Cities for a weekend and play Hill Murray, Edina. They play the top teams in the state, and they're usually in the state tournament. Um, and then you got some of the private schools that are making a name for themselves. I mean, St. Thomas is a small all men's private school in Minnesota that for years played in the single A bracket and then moved up to double A and are just as, I mean, they're a top echelon team. Um, damn, broke my wrist last year or broke my wrist on the ice a year ago. Yeah, man, that's tough. And we're old, DJ ADD. We're old. We don't want to be breaking bones at our age. Let me ask a question without asking a question. DJ ADD, do you still have? How do I say this? The last time I hung out with you, we went to Blaine and we did something in Blaine that was really fun. Do you still own that? If you understand what I'm talking about, if you can read through the lines, last time I hung out with you, we went somewhere and we did something, and it was something I had never done before. And you had something that was pretty damn cool. Wondering if you still have that. Tolga says, I was a kid when I watched an ice hockey match as live. Pretty long time ago. Well, yeah, man. Don't you live in Is it Turkey? You live far away, I know that. And here's the thing. You called it a match. This isn't soccer, Tolga. We're not playing soccer here. It's not a hockey match. It's a hockey game. I'm just messing with you, brother. Um, there are places are there places up there that rent snowmobiles in the winter? I want to ride one, but can't find them anywhere in the southeast. Yes, absolutely. You can rent snowmobiles in the winter up here. Um, any resort, a lot of resorts. So we have like ski lodges, northern Minnesota. This is, um, or you go to like a year-round resort. Yes, they rent snowmobiles, and they have snowmobile hundreds of miles on like the Sioux line. Um, so yes, you can come to Minnesota and rent snowmobiles in the winter. Yes, you live in Turkey. I thought that's what it was. Okay, cool. You probably upgraded. I'm interested now, man. You know what? Well, yeah, you owe me a call, man. I owe you a call too. I hope things are good. I miss. Listen, I can't divulge too many details. I obviously know DJ ADD, and I actually have known him since I was shit, man, probably like 17 years old, and I'm he'll understand what I'm talking about. There was like a group of us that got together quite frequently and just did some crazy shit. But it was so much fun. And I'm still friends with a few of those people um today. You know, we had a couple of friends that left and went to the military. We had a couple that had kids young, but I'm still friends with a few of these guys. And it's like, man, when I get together with my best friend who lives in Florida, him and I talk about those days. Like, man, it was the stuff we did and how much fun we had staying up late, playing poker, playing spades. The first time I got a real grown up job, I had friends that got together every Thursday night and we played spades. And it's something that we always did. You know, we were in our early 20s. Man, we weren't even maybe 20. We were probably like 19, 20. And we got together and we'd play spades and cards all night. And then I got a big boy job. And I had to be up every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I'd be like, guys, I can't come in. Like, we would start at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I'm like, I can't do this anymore, guys. Like, I got to bow out. Like, I got to wake up and go to work. And I remember that's when like adulthood started hitting me. But I got there's such a funny story that I wish I don't know how to say it, how to tell it without giving away too many details, but I'm gonna try. So probably shit, man, would that have been about 20 years ago? Uh I went up north with a bunch of my friends and we rented this hotel room and we were messing around in the hotel room and DJ ADD put the hotel room on his credit card and we all paid him. And we were messing around doing something in the hotel room and we knocked a lamp off the off the table and shattered this lamp. And where we were staying, I for up north, I wouldn't say it's like an upscale resort, but where we were, it's an expensive resort to stay at. Um and so we shattered this lamp and we didn't want to pay for it. And like I said, DJ ADD had this room on his credit card. So we went to the local like Menards and we bought super glue and we super glued this lamp back together. But then we're looking at the lamp and we're like, man, you can tell that it's broken. Like you can see all the lines and everything. So then we went back to the hardware store and we bought primer and paint and we painted this lamp almost, I mean, almost to perfection. And this hotel room had an electric fireplace in it. And we're like, oh, let's put it in front of the electric fireplace and get the room really hot and dry it, like dry the paint fast. So we did that. We dried the paint and put it back on the mantle or the counter or whatever the hell it was on, the nightstand, and left, and he never got charged for damage to that room. So we did a good job at repairing this. Like, it wasn't a super expensive lamp, but they probably would have charged you a couple $100 for it. And we replaced it. It was absolutely hilarious. And yeah, that had to be shit. If I'm 43, yeah, man, that had to be probably like 20 years ago, man. Felipe says hockey equals cold soccer. I can see how you would say that. I can see how you would say that. Trucking with T-Bones in the house. What up, brother? What up? Everybody's saying hi to people. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna get off now. I told my lamp story. But it's fun, man, when you reminisce with old friends, like I said, my best friend, man, I've known my best friend since I was 6 years old. Um, we grew up right by each other. We lived right up a hill from each other. And I ended up moving when I was like 13 years old, moving to a different town. And hold on. All right. I ended up moving to a different town, about 45 miles away from where I like basically lived most of my childhood. And him and I stayed in contact all through like junior high and high school. He would come and hang out at my house. I would go back to the town I grew up in and spend the weekends there and hang out with all my friends there. And I look at it now, we're 43. He's retired from the military. He actually started a trucking company, which I thought was crazy. And I look at the friends that we kind of grew up with, like guys that we knew we could count on. Like they had our back and we had their back. And we were kind of juvenile delinquents. We got in trouble. We fought. We did things that I don't wish we would have done. But like we were a solid group of like friends. And when I think back on it, the fact that some of us are still friends to this day is remarkable. Because you just don't see that. You don't carry friendships for well over 30 years. You know what I mean? That's a tough thing in this day and age. I see like my daughters, they they have a few friends that might be like long-term friends, but like I have friends that I've known for my entire life. You know what I mean? Growing up with them and hanging out with them and going through the ups and downs of life. And now when we get together for a party or somebody hosts something and a lot of us might show up to it, it's like, man, look at us now. Like we might have been kind of like fuck ups back then, and you look at us now and we're like, some of us own businesses, some of us are retired, some of us are like professionals, like legit professionals. And the underneath their dress shirt and tie, they might have a gang tattoo. You know what I mean? And now they're freaking like big time professional people. You know what I mean? And it's remarkable to see that. And I feel pretty fortunate that I have people like that in my life. Because I know a lot of us don't. A lot of us don't have people that we can count on or things like that. So I feel pretty fortunate. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up tonight. I thank you everybody for the super chats. I hope everybody has a great night. CJ, are you in here? If you're still in here, leave a comment right now what the Cowboys game is. What's the score of the Cowboys game? I'll wait 1 minute. But yeah, how's everybody? I don't need to say how everybody doing tonight. I'm getting pretty tired. I should call home. I'm really surprised my wife hasn't called me. But yeah, I'm gonna bounce off, guys. Hope everybody has a great start to their week tomorrow. And till next time, you know what it is. Keep trucking.